Hi, I am the designer and programmer of Gratuitous Space Battles 2, and this is the second video where I'm going to talk about the ship design process for the game. You might recognise this screen. This is quite similar, although the design is very different, quite similar to Gratuitous Space Battles 1, where you select a hull here and then you drag modules onto a ship to set up the kind of ship that you want. That much has stayed pretty much the same, but what is different is that, unlike in GSB1 where all of the ships based on the same hull would look the same, in GSB2 you're going to be able to sort of change the appearance of a ship. So we have a new tab up here, Edit Appearance. If I click that, that takes you to this screen, which is completely new, and this is where you get to edit the sort of physical look of the ship, and this will be persistent for you and also for anyone that you issue a challenge to. So you'll be able to design your own ship and then upload that ship for other people to fight against, both in terms of its modules and in terms of how it looks. So you might not like the design of this and you might want to change it, and that's fine. So the first thing we could do is just sort of get rid of everything I've added, and that is the basic ship hull there. That's all there is. And I quite like the sort of the two colour system that I've got there, but you could, you know, if you didn't like that and you just wanted it one colour, you can just set them the same. But I'm going to quickly run through sort of putting together a fairly sort of cheesy looking ship just to amuse me, and show you what you can do. So there's loads of components here. This is by no means all of them. This is just the ones that we've done so far. There'll be lots, and there's quite a lot of kind of options. You can rotate stuff, and you can mirror it and stuff like that. So say I wanted to add that. I can't remember what colours I picked, but I'm just going to kind of rush through it. I found that the easiest way to do this is to do one side of the ship and then to kind of mirror the whole ship. That seems to be the easiest way. So one of the other things that you can do, this might be a little bit over the top. You've also got control of the Z order of everything, so you can decide what's on top of other stuff. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Let's just set that back to black. And I wanted that, didn't I? So set that to... you can have stuff rotating if you want. You want little rotatey gubbins like that. There's loads of bits that you can use to make up engines. So you can have sort of quite complicated engine components that are made up of all sorts of different bits. We'll have one of them and one of them. You can also add stuff together to make composite components, so that to kind of like speed stuff up. You can do multiple select, all the kind of stuff that you would expect. I just want a sort of exhaust thing there. We'll go with a sort of reddish exhaust stuff. And then I want something like this. Let's just move those up there for now. Oh, this is going to need a lot of kind of like usability tweaking stuff. I'm sure it'll be great fun to do. So what I'll do is I'm just going to set the Z order that high, so I can then stick that behind it there, and then I've got an engine which probably needs a fin. Oh, lots of options. Let's go with that. And I might just go with completely... I'll go red, who cares? Oh, put that back. And for example, do that. There's actually no limit on the amount of stuff that you can add. You can add as many of these little widgets and things as you like. Cunningly, it won't slow the game down. I won't sort of go on in tedious detail about why not, but it but it won't. If you had hundreds and hundreds of engines and stuff that rotates, it possibly will, but you'd have to go pretty nuts for that to happen. There's also an option to have coloured lights. If I just try, but I can't remember how to do it now. Oh, there we go. So it's a sort of bluish light there. So once you've got something that you like, it's quite easy to duplicate it and just add lots of them all over the place. It's meant to be a cruiser, so my windows should be tiny. Really, they're not. But this is just a proof of concept. One of the things you can do here is you can play about with how it's going to look in the actual game engine. So, for example, it would look like that at the moment in complete darkness. And there's loads of kind of like silly coloured bits that you can add. So let's add something like this. Oh no, let's have some more red. So this is kind of fun, and that should show up if we take down the foreground. So, ooh, nice lighting. Like I say, you can add hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things like this. You have to take my word for it. I'll show, because otherwise it will take ages for me to sort of go through it. There's other bits and bobs you can add. You can add flashing lights, but one of the things that I really like, if we turn this down, is kind of hull lighting. Where are they? I think that's one. So you can have a kind of light that just lights up part of the hull like this. I really like that. Your mileage may vary. It just gives it a bit more kind of interest to it. So I could go on for ages adding loads of stuff. There's also contrails and other flashy stuff, and there's those sort of engines that are, like a strip engine. Also solar panels, because it's a game I'm working on. Okay, so I've added some nonsense there. So if I just select all of that and then just mirror it like that, then we have our ship, which will hopefully kind of look a little bit like that. It's not a work of art, but 2 minutes, and I'm sure people will go to much greater lengths. So what I'm going to do now is show you how that looks in the game. So I need to go back here to the main screen and what's that, F2 Cruiser 1. Must remember that, and we'll save that. Yep, and now let's see what it looks like in the game. Look at this cunning, no cuts or editing. F2 Cruiser 1, F2 Cruiser 1, F2 Cruiser 1. I hasn't updated the icon for it, but it doesn't matter. That's a bug for me. Right, and here it is kind of like caching the graphics, which is actually pretty quick. I mean, that's done. It's now loading the rest of the battle. That's been optimized to oblivion. Right, okay, so it's down the bottom somewhere. Obviously, we should recognize it. Oh, there we go. So this is our ship with our really sort of tacky rotating bits and our bit of red, and it still has the kind of like 3D-ness. I can move stuff about. Let's turn down the bloom a bit and turn down the outside lighting to show those lights that we put in place. So there you go, a custom designed ship that works. No fancy editing, it just goes straight in, and possibilities are endless.